Divergent thinking is a thought process used to generate creative ideas by exploring many possible solutions. It typically occurs in a spontaneous, free-flowing, non-linear manner, such that many ideas are generated in an emergent cognitive fashion. Many possible solutions are explored in a short amount of time, and unexpected connections are drawn. Welcome to Minds in Formation. And there we go. So I did have a question for you.
Oh.
Random question, but we're going to a metal show tonight.
Right.
And this genre of music, we understand, is distasteful for a lot of people. It's pretty niche.
Yes.
A lot of people hear death metal and they're instantly like, oh my God, what the fuck?
How do you listen to that?
Yeah, like they have like a visceral reaction to it.
Yeah.
A lot of time it's in people's butts, you know. They'll say, oh, I can pretty much listen to anything except like country and metal.
Yeah.
Okay. It gets thrown out there a lot. But have you ever really thought about why you like it and like what it does for you and why maybe other things don't?
Yes. So metal, there's like a little ball of rage that lives inside of me, and metal makes that happy. If that makes sense. Like, I don't know, there's just something about it and the energy around it that, I don't know, there's just something inside that it tickles that I don't think everybody necessarily has in them.
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it.
Do you have a different reason of why you like it?
Not really. I mean, it's kind of similar. I mean, I've always kind of liked things that were just what I view as badass.
Yeah.
Like typical things are badass. Trucks are badass, guns are badass, titties are badass, guitars are badass, you know, and I just like a band that's shredding to me just is kind of like that too. It's just fucking sweet.
Well, and I'm very picky. Like, not all metal is created equal. Like, some of it is just noise and I don't care for it. I think vocalists have a lot to do with how I feel about it. Like, if your vocals are garbage, I can't get down with it.
Yep.
But yeah, like you have to be able to still catch a groove to the metal. Like, it can't just be noise.
Yeah, 100%. I've tried to tell people that too. I'm also very picky. And while I want the songs to shred and be badass and totally sweet, there needs to be a rhythm still. It still needs to be a song. Like, we're listening to music after all.
Right.
And like, I don't want to hate on anybody, but you'll talk to a lot of people, maybe a little more older school guys that love a band like Cannibal Corpse. And to me, I try to listen to them and I'm like, it's horrendous.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, and there's nothing really going on.
Yeah. And like, I do think that there is a difference between being at a live show and listening to a recording. Like, I can see how maybe being at a live performance for a band like that is a little different. Like, I have bands like Carnifex, for example. I really like Carnifex, but I don't listen to them. Like, I will go rock out at a show and I love them, but I don't like to listen to them outside of a live venue, really.
Yeah. I think I have like one or two of their songs in my liked, playlist or whatever, but yeah same.
So yeah, I think some of it is the energy of the whole show, and I don't know, I think that plays into it a little bit, but yeah, the ones that I can play outside of shows, like, yeah, it just satisfies that little ball of rage that just lives deep down in there.
I was telling somebody the other day at work that there's a therapeutic aspect to it.
Yeah.
Like, even sometimes when I'm a little stressed out or pissed off or just whatever's going on, I'll hop in the truck or whatever and just blast metal.
Yeah,
and
jam out.
Yeah, 20, 30 minutes later, I'm like,
yeah,
that was nice.
It's funny, my mom, she can't stand metal, of course, but she always wants to know what the lyrics are to these songs. And I'm like, Mom, it's not about the lyrics. Like, there are songs that I really, really enjoy, but I don't relate to the lyrics at all, but I still really love the song. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it's not even about the lyrics. Like, it really is the sound of all of it for me.
And it's funny you say that because there's a lot of lyrics that, I don't identify with not one bit because it's a little overly crybaby or whiny or whatever. Or be like, oh, my life sucks.
My life sucks. I'm going to go hurt myself. It's like, shut up, dude. But like this song is a banger.
Yeah, 100%. It's kind of funny how those things can exist at the same time.
Exactly.
Because I could tell you a couple of songs right off the top of my head. I mean, honestly, I feel like Knocked Loose is kind of one of those bands where I really like a few of their songs, but I also think they're a bunch of fucking pussies.
Yeah. Even, like, you know how much I love Paleface, but even some of their songs, it's like, I don't know. I can't always identify with the lyrics that they're saying, but it's like I'm still rocking out to this song for sure.
It's one of the reasons why I really like Angel Maker, the shirt you're wearing, is not that I like really identify with the lyrics that much, but they're just badass. They're just like, fuck you, pain, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Good.
But they're just raging out and they're just having a good time and they're just leaning into being metal guys.
Yeah.
They're not complaining about their life or like looking for sympathy or whatever, being super apathetic.
Yeah.
They're just shredding and being like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, they're one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, they're pretty sick. And seeing anything live is always the best. But preferences are kind of funny in general. Like, do you ever think of how do people end up just liking all the things that they like? Not just metal, but anything. Their sense of style or the people that they are attracted to. And it's sometimes you see it from the outside and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah. Well, and even with music, I'm all over the place. Like one of the last shows that I went to before tonight was Lords of Acid, and one of the bands that opened for them was Tony and the Kiki, and the lead singer of that band is essentially like, he says he was what would happen if Cher and Freddie Mercury had a love child, and he is like, he has a mustache, but he dresses kind of like a drag queen, and it was such a great performance. Like there's just something about, like the energy of the crowd and the energy of the band and what happens, but I don't know. I think that energy, like you were saying, like with relationships and just like people liking what they like, I think it kind of flows over to all of that. Like just whatever's on your vibration, I guess, is what you're drawn to. And sometimes it doesn't make sense of why you're drawn to all the things you are, but
yeah, because it's hard for me to even think how I got started on this path or what, my influence might have been. Because nobody listened to metal or even rock and roll that much in my house. It was like my dad listened to a bunch of like weird 80s pop, some 70s classical rock. And my mom is such a psycho that she doesn't even like listening to music.
What?
Like not at all.
That's crazy to me.
She'll just drive in silence like fucking serial killer or something.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, I don't know. She's always like that. And anytime... she's in the car while I'm driving, it doesn't matter what we're listening to. She always wants to turn it way down to where you can't even hear it because she'd just rather like chit chat or stare out the window.
That's crazy. See, and I grew up, and that's probably why I have such a broad music interest. Like I grew up listening to all kinds of stuff. Like my parents introduced me to a little bit of everything. And yeah, I don't know. I love it all. Like,
yeah, I got a pretty wide range myself, but my go-tos, metal, reggae, and hip hop. I mean, that's like where I live mostly.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like it.
Even with hip hop, like I fell off, I want to say around like 2005-ish, so I haven't really listened to a ton of it since then, but like anything from late 80s through early 2000s, yeah, that was good shit back then. Mm-hmm.
I'm a person that's always trying to find new stuff too. I mean, some folks will just be happy with listening to the shit that they listened to in the 90s and they'll just do that forever.
Yeah.
And essentially just never adapt, never take anything else. They're like, nope, nothing's going to beat like...
This is me now.
Yeah. They're like, I'm like the Black Album, Metallica, and like Sublime, and that's all I listen to. I'm not interested in any of this new bullshit.
Yeah. Well, and in a way, I kind of understand it. I can be really particular, especially like when I'm out driving. I don't want to listen to new stuff. I want to jam out to things that I know. And so it has to be the right environment for me to want to search for new music. But really, like, a lot of the new stuff that I find is people that I know that are like, hey, you have to listen to this. Like, you send me music all the time. Like, hey, check out this banger.
Totally.
And so, yeah, like, and that is, like, that's how I found a lot of the people that I listen to, or just like randomly stumbling across it someday, or, you know, having Spotify just run and do its thing, and all of a sudden it brings something up and it's like, oh, wait, what is this?
Yeah. I really like the smart shuffle feature for that purpose, because let's just say you just want to play your like songs or a certain playlist or whatever, and then it'll introduce random new ones
Bring
from time
in what
to time.
you think I want to hear.
Yeah, and it doesn't always win, of course, but that's introduced me to cool new shit as well.
Yeah.
Even might be a band that I already listened to, but I just never heard that specific song. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I can like that shit immediately.
Or it's even fun to like think about a song that you haven't heard of, like you haven't heard in forever, and put that on Spotify, and then just let Spotify go from that song and bring in what it's going to bring in. Yep. There are so many songs that I've totally forgotten about that Spotify's like, oh, hey, here you go. And it's like, oh, shit. Like, I totally forgot about all this.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to take a little trip down memory lane from time to time. Something will just pop in my head, and I'll be chilling in the backyard. And, yeah, same thing. Play something and let it run. But then we did that the other day. It was great for a while, for like 10 or 15 minutes. Then all of a sudden, it's like 20 minutes later, and I was like, what is this fucking bullshit that's going on right now?
It's getting weird. We got to stop this.
Yeah, big time. So what are your plans for the summer? Anything big popping up? Or you just head down grinding, or what?
Yeah, I don't really know. I have a trip planned to Mexico in August.
That's like your big family one?
Yeah. But other than that, I don't really have too much going on. I'm trying to like focus on my backyard and making that a more livable, comfortable space, because I'm sick of it just being dirt. So that's something that I'm trying to focus on this year. But yeah, I haven't really made a ton of plans over the summer. What about you?
We got like a lot of weekends that are starting to fill up, where we're just blocking out certain things where we know we might have somebody in town, or maybe there's a big concert, or we're going to go camping this weekend, or fly back to California another weekend. So definitely have some things populating, but nothing too crazy.
Oh, I almost forgot. I do have something really cool coming up this summer.
What is it?
I am going to volunteer for the Pikes Peak or Bust rodeo this year.
Really?
Yes. So my neighbor friends, they always volunteer for the rodeo, and this year they have been put in charge of mutton busting.
Really?
And they need people to come in and help with it. And they asked me if I want to come help. I'm like, seriously, put little kids on sheep? Let's go.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So like Tuesday through Thursday of that week, I'm going to leave work early so I can go help out with all of that. And then I guess Friday they have a matinee, and then the evening performance, same on Saturday. So I'll go and help with both of those. So I'm super excited about that.
That's cool. And doesn't your work like encourage a certain amount of
They do.
volunteer
Yeah.
time
We
or
get
something?
like 16 hours of volunteer time that we can go do whatever we want to do with. So yeah, I haven't used any of that yet this year. So
there you go.
mutton busting is how I'm spending it.
The rodeo is lit, actually.
Yeah.
We went last year, and it was the first time. I know we told you about it before, but it was the first time I'd ever been to a rodeo, because I'm not a cowboy guy.
Yeah.
It's just not really my scene. Even though I grew up with horses and in that kind of environment, it's just not something I really identify with. But regardless, Jessica was like dying to go to the rodeo because she loves country shit and cowboys and all the things. It's super nostalgic for her. She's
and it
into
really is so fun.
It is. It's great. We had a awesome time. We were just sitting there like watching the rodeo. The prayer was the most hilarious shit I've ever heard in my life. Because it was like sponsored by Lockheed Martin. This guy like, dear baby Jesus, like thank you for our space warriors that are protecting us from enemies and sabotage. And like it was just like the craziest.
Well,
prayer.
and the people watching. Anywhere where there's a lot of people that get together like that, like I'm in for the people watching, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of people, we were commenting on it last year. We're like, you know, cowboys and cowgirls, mostly good-looking folks for the most part.
It's true.
You're not seeing a bunch of fatzos, you're not seeing a bunch of slobs or pieces of shit. It's a bunch of people that, you know, take care of themselves, work farms, like ride horses, and like generally look pretty good.
Yeah, it's very true. I know I have to figure out, because I don't own boots or hats or any of that. Like I have a certain dress code I have to follow if I'm going to be there volunteering. So
Yeah.
yeah, I got to try to figure that out. Luckily, my mom has horses, and her and I wear the same size shoes. So
there you
I'm
go.
hoping I can at least borrow some of her cowboy boots and maybe a hat, and I can go find. I think I just need like a white button-up shirt, so I can figure that out. That's not hard.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go full cowboy this year.
Yes, dude. Do you already have all the gear?
I need boots.
Okay.
And
You
I
have a
might-
hat?
I do have a hat. It's
Is
the
it
one
like
I've
a
taken
straw hat? Like a...
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's a proper cowboy hat, but it's like more the straw style.
Okay.
I wear it at the rivers and stuff
Oh,
sometimes.
I've
or
probably seen it.
in the
yeah.
backyard. You've probably seen it before. I randomly found it in the attic of my house when I moved in. There was these boxes of weird ass shit. One of them was a cowboy hat. Happens to fit me perfectly, and I got a big ass head, so that's kind of unique. And but there was all these action figures of wrestling guys, like WWE, WWF, old school wrestling
With the
figures.
cowboy hat?
Yeah, there was just boxes of weird shit
Interesting.
that somebody left here sometime.
Interesting.
And I just found it like 2 years after I moved in. And I was like, what the hell? There's all this bullshit up here.
Crazy. There was a house that I lived in the old North End neighborhood. It was right by the fire station, and it was built in like 1899. And one day I was snooping around. There was this shelf that was, I don't know, I'm a shorty. I can't see the top of it. And one day I was up there cleaning, and there was like one of those old school like pilot hats. I don't know how to describe
with the,
it.
like, flaps on the side
With the
and stuff?
flaps,
Yeah.
yeah. And I ended up keeping it. I still have it at my house. I was just like, what a weird fucking thing to find on the top shelf of this really old house. So yeah, I have no
Yeah.
idea how long it had been there, but
Who knows? It was random. Yeah, like when I found all that stuff, it was kind of funny to go through it because somebody was a collector of at least a certain degree. Again, there's multiple of these wrestling figures, and they're all in the box and stuff.
oh shit, do you think any of them are valuable?
I put all of them on eBay. I pretty much sold all of them already.
Nice.
There was one or two that maybe got like $50 or $60, but nothing that great.
I mean, that's more than I would have expected them to go for, I guess.
yeah. I mean,
For
there's a
just
couple
like
of collectors
action
out
figure,
there.
you know?
Yeah, like, do you want a early '90s Macho Man Randy Savage? I'm like, I got you.
Hell yeah.
It was super random. There's also this calendar of all these like risque like cheerleader chicks like with their tits like almost all the way out, not quite.
Oh. What year was it?
I think it was like 90 something.
Okay.
Like 1997 random smut
That's
calendar.
so funny. I wonder whose stash you found. Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be so fun if you could figure out like what that person looked like?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I've never really paid attention to all the buying and selling history of this house. It's actually, I should look that up. I'd just be curious to know like how long people owned it at different periods. But at one point, so there was this German guy that lived here before, and I guess he fixed clocks down here in this basement. There was some sort of workshop, and he fixed old school clocks. And I've had multiple old people come up and knock on my door in the middle of the day and just ask me, like, are you a clock repairman guy? And I was like, nope, because I guess it shows up on
Whoa.
Google still
Oh, weird.
with this address. So every once in a while, every couple of months, somebody will knock on the door and be like, do you fix clocks? And I'm like, I don't,
That
dude.
is so funny.
Yeah.
Because how long have you been in this house now?
Like 6 years and some change, 6.5.
Yeah, that's crazy that it's still linked here somehow from that.
It's just if you look on some maps,
Huh.
I mean, even if you pull up Google Maps right now and you zoom in onto this area, it might say fucking whatever Schlotsky's clock repair or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But one time it was kind of sick. This lady came by, and I just happened to be off work that day, or I was taking a day off, so I was home in the middle of the day. And she knocks on the door, and she was looking for her son. She's like, "Is Andrew here?" And I was like, "No." And then she said his last name, and I was like, "Oh, he used to live here before, but I bought the house at this point. It was like 3 years ago." So I don't know where he's at now, but I've been living here for a few years.
Oh, wow.
But she was like, "Oh, well, we're a little bit estranged, and I'm trying to track him down." She's this little old lady.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, she kind of just starts pointing at some of the trees and the things. And she's like, "Oh, I remember planting those trees, like the ones out front." So then we did a little lap like around the house, and she was just taking me down memory lane, like telling me the history of like how it all changed and whatnot.
That's cool.
It was really cool.
I hope she found her son. Like, it sounds like she was maybe trying to, I don't know, make it right, like with whatever happened between them.
Hopefully. I mean, everybody that I talked to in the neighborhood that knew him, the guy that lived here before, they're like, he was a real dick.
So maybe she wasn't missing out on anything.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I never even met the guy because I bought this house like sight unseen. I still lived in North Carolina.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and the people that I bought my house from, I never met them either.
Yeah.
It was so weird. Like, whenever I bought my house, it was in 2018, and it was when the market was just insane. And I had to write, my realtor called it a love letter that I had to write to the owners because they were getting so many bids and offers and everything that, like, they needed some kind of differentiator. And so, yeah, I had to write this love letter. And it was so funny because I just remember being like, "Oh, this house is just so perfect for me, and I don't even have to change anything to move in." But, like, in reality, I'm like, no, I'm painting the entire house because the colors you've picked are disgusting, and I have to remove the popcorn ceilings because those are awful. But, like, yeah, I had to write this whole love letter, and really what it came down to is in our offer, we said that if anyone else had the same offer, we'd throw in an extra $500, and that was what won me the house, was that $500. I was so thankful that my realtor did that.
Dang, that's cool. That's wild.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that the market's calmed down a little bit. I mean, I'm not in any position where I'm trying to sell or anything right now, but for anybody who is out there trying to navigate everything, like, that was just so crazy.
Yeah. Well, it went, like here in Colorado specifically, and maybe everywhere, I don't know. I just lived here, but it went fucking stupid after COVID. There was an initial drop across the whole economy, and then it just started going stupid mode.
Yeah.
Where the real estate here was shooting up like astronomically.
Oh, yeah.
And I know guys that like made a ton, and good on them for doing that. Like,
the amount of equity I have in my house is stupid.
That's crazy. And I know like military dudes that were here for 4 years and just happened to buy it at the right time. They bought it in like 2019, 2020. They left like 3 or 4 years later, and they're like, I made $150,000, $200,000, and I didn't do anything. I mean, the house is in worse shape than when I bought it.
Yeah.
And I just got a check for $200,000. I was like, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, things just blew up here.
But then like cooled off a lot.
Yeah.
To where now it's like a different world, because during that period, people were coming in and giving offers way over asking price and just scooping up everything. But now there's like way more inventory, and houses are sitting for sale for way longer.
Yeah.
Which is good because it became more reasonable, because it was just being ridiculous there.
Right.
I feel like there for a while.
Yeah.
I would check my value and I'm like, how is it up like 20%
Seriously.
in 6 months? Like that's fucking crazy.
My little dinky house. They were saying it was over $400,000 at one point, and I'm like, absolutely not for this
like,
house.
For what? That is an issue though. It's like, and I don't know what is going to be done to solve it. The never-ending inflation, of things just constantly getting more and more expensive, to where now, even if you do make $100,000, you're like, yeah, that's cool, but you're not like balling out. You're not doing really well. You're paying the bills and maybe saving a little bit of money on the side.
Yeah,
it's just seems like an unsustainable like trajectory that we're on in general. And I just think about all the people that don't have like a good career and stuff. I'm like, you guys are fucked. Like,
Totally.
What are all you guys doing? Like, how are you surviving?
Totally. Yeah, if we could figure out how to solve the greed issue, we could solve the inflation issue. But I think like a lot of it ties back to everybody wants to make more and more because money buys you options. Like, it doesn't buy you happiness, but it will buy you options. And I don't know, some people are just out of control with it, and they, more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
And that drives everything up, and I don't know. It's crazy.
It's cliche, but people say money is the root of all evil, and I think it's 100% true. Because if you look at the issues throughout the world, and you can basically name your issue, and I can guarantee that you can follow a trail and you can find out that somebody's making fucking money about it. It's the rampant in our country, and I'm assuming it's the same way in every country, that decisions are not made on what is actually good for the population and for the society. It's about hooking up this guy over here and this guy over here.
I would totally agree.
The money's going to spin around, and we're going to have all these fucking contracts and corruption and bullshit.
Did you hear about how I believe it was the CEO of the Colorado Springs Utilities and his huge pay raise that he just got?
No, I didn't see that.
$150,000 pay raise that he just got. City Council voted unanimously 9-0.
What does that bring him up to?
Like $700,000 annually. And it's like, wait a second, you just got a pay raise that's more than most people's salary? Like, what? Like, and are utility rates going to go up?
Yeah, you keep sending out these emails saying like, well, we're going to do like water-wise times.
Yeah. And yeah, so now we're paying for his $150,000 raise. And it's like, did anyone else in the company get like a 20% raise? Because that doesn't seem right. And I guess City Council's argument for it was that it brings him up to like the median salary for that type of position. But the article also said that the person before him refused to take a pay increase because they didn't want to do that to all the citizens and have them pay extra just for their salary when they were making plenty to begin with. Like, this guy's already at $550,000.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you need $150,000 more? Like, you're crushing it, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's the utility company. Like,
right.
We shouldn't be paying you that amount of money, in my opinion. But
no, like, yeah, utilities, I don't know. That's like something that I feel like, I mean, especially at this point, maybe we'll get there, that it should almost be like the fire department. It's just there. Like, I think it should be subsidized way more. Like, everyone needs power and water and whatnot. And
yeah, I do think it is something that people could potentially abuse and use more than they need to. So I can see why that might not be a great way to go with it.
You could have like a cap, right? Like,
right.
Like everything
like
is subsidized to this level.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then if you blast way above that because you got your own Bitcoin miner set up in your basement, and that's on you. You can pay the extra.
Right. Well, and my understanding, too, is that there are people throughout history who have figured out 0-point energy machines that can just it just pulls energy out of the air and generates, and so you don't have to have any power source on it. But every time people come up with those machines, they mysteriously die and everything disappears. And it's like, if we could figure out a way to make that a reality for everybody, I feel like it could totally change the way that we run things. But again, greed.
It all goes back to money.
Will not let that happen.
Because there's so many things that we already could have gotten out of our current system in a lot of ways, you know. I mean, a little bit of effort, a little bit of maybe, you know, government funding. I mean, they waste so much fucking money anyways, you know, and then you do like a solar panel program. You put solar panels everywhere, or all over someone's house or whatever, and then next thing you know, energy in the entire city is essentially free.
Yeah.
But you can't bill that, You can't fucking raise shareholder value
Right.
off of that system. So it's like we can't snap out of the fact that we have like a selfish incentive system, just like humans in general.
Yes.
So and being that people can't give that up means that they can't make decisions based on what is good for, again, like the collective or the society, because self-interest always prevails.
Right.
That's why it's interesting to think where things might go in the future, because Elon will talk about how he thinks there's going to be this great abundance and everyone's going to have tons of money and robots are going to be doing all the work and everyone's going to be just like happy and fucking skipping down the road. But I don't know that these power mechanisms and the establishment is going to go down quietly.
Right.
So it's going to be chaos, to try to transition towards any type of new age system where, everyone just kind of works together and we have our basic needs met and you can kind of do what you want to with your time because there's no real need to go to work because it's all automated. But that's going to be real fucking spicy, that transition.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people are going to be fucked for a while in between.
Totally. Like, I can't imagine that everybody is going to be in a good place, like, if and when that does happen. And even then, like, I want to see the written business plan. Like, tell me exactly how you think this transition's going to work, because there's so many nuances to all of that like, I just think there's so many things that are going to pop up as problems that maybe weren't anticipated in however he thinks this transition's going to go down. I mean, it all sounds great.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who are put in really bad situations for a while. Not everyone is just going to be abundant and thriving right out of the gate from all of that.
No. And one of the theories I saw that was proposed is that, let's say that is realized, some type of universal basic income, and the government's paying your bills or whatever, but that it could lock people in to kind of the situation that they are currently in. Mm-hmm. So if you're balling out, then you're going to keep balling out, and if you're middle of class, you're basically stuck there, and if you're fucked,
if you're on the struggle bus,
you're still kind of fucked. Like, maybe you're slightly better off.
Yeah.
But it's not like you have all this, investment in the economy and these different things, opportunities or businesses that are popping off. It's like, yeah, like your rent is paid and you have groceries, but you're still like living in the projects.
Right. Yeah. I know, it's all just so interesting because, like, I'm definitely a believer of, like, different levels of effort should bring you different things. Like, you
100%.
Shouldn't just be able to coast and be a piece of shit and have everything handed to you. Like, I don't think that that's right. But at the same time, like, I also think that there are things that every human is deserving of. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it's hard to find that balance.
Yeah. What does that even look like?
Yeah. And again, there's just so many variables that play into everything that you can't anticipate how all of those variables should be addressed in all of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a topic that you could go into a lot of, like, research and thought about. But in our current society as it stands, it would, like, never work, because Americans are already fucking kooks, And if all of a sudden you just gave everyone everything, it's like,
right,
oh my
it'd
God.
be chaos.
It'd be insane. So you would have to start at the base level, and this is like something that our society probably needs in general, but we do not focus that much on truly ensuring that the next generation has the capability of putting their best foot forward.
Right.
For a long time, I think that we've operated on, again, it's the kind of that self-interest thing. Like, we're going to do our thing. We're going to fucking blow this up. We're going to tear down this forest. We're going to light this fucking field on fire, and like we don't really care what's going to happen later. And even just the education system's horrible.
That's where I was about to go. It's like, if we want to do better for our youth, our education system needs a total overhaul.
Yeah.
That is one of the lowest paid jobs you can get, and it's frankly one of the most important jobs that somebody could have. And like, because it is such a low paying job, I don't think we get as many quality people in that position that we need in that position. And like, I know there are other countries out there who focus so hard on their education system and making sure, because they're like, if we're going to have any leg to stand on in the future, like, we have to be sure that we're, fostering mathematicians and scientists and all these people who can help us figure out all this stuff. And we're like, oh, well, we pay somebody to be there with our kids during the day, and if they learn something, cool. If not, whatever, as long as they're not out being hooligans. Like,
yeah. It's so incredibly short-sighted to not invest in the upcoming generation.
Totally.
It's insane. That's a ridiculous thing to do. And even the general attitude, people kind of look at like kids and family as like a bummer, and I don't know. It's just, it's all about just YOLO, like do your thing, be a fucking boss, like fuck everybody else.
Well, and even as somebody like, I don't have kids. I don't have any desire to ever have children, but like, it's so important to focus on them and their future for, I don't know, the future of humanity. Like,
right.
Yeah, it's like, even though that's not my thing, like, I still see the importance of, paying taxes to help schools and like anything that helps kids. Like, there's value in that.
Yeah, because
even if it's not my thing.
100%. And I'm not saying it has to be everyone's thing, but there's this, other end of the spectrum where people sit back and they just bitch about the younger generation. They're like, oh, they're just a bunch of fucking losers and hoodlums. And yeah, sure, everyone's done that throughout history to a certain degree.
Right.
Like, everyone has talked shit on the younger generation.
These kids got it so easy.
Yeah, you don't know what the fuck this shit is about, dude. You got it. Yeah, you're fucking living in a padded room, bro. Don't even fucking talk to me. But, again, just look out for yourself, and you're like, fuck these kids, fuck everybody else, and that doesn't do any good on making things better.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I gotta take a potty break.
Okay, deal.
Yeah, it's just like double checking the file that we had just recorded, because I've had issues every once in a while where I've done a podcast with people and then I realized like the file was fucking corrupted.
Oh.
It actually happened last weekend, and I had such a good episode. I was like,
lame.
Oh, dude. I did it with Pirate Ryan.
Okay.
And it was awesome. It was like perfect. I was like, dude, this is like a gem of an episode. But the recording software I use, it like pinged me for an update. So I was like, yeah, go ahead and update. And I didn't go back and double check settings or whatever. And I think some things like the, what do you call it? Like the bit rate that it was recording at. So it was mismatched between my mixer and my software. So it sounded like shit. And I was like, oh, fuck, I can't do anything with this file.
Dang. Well, I remember the first one that we did together. It kept like freezing on the screen and it looked like it wasn't recording. And so we were just like powered through anyway. And like it ended up being fine, but yeah.
Yeah, that was on my old computer that just was getting maxed out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's like a shitty little Chromebook that was just like,
I can't handle this.
It's too much, boss. It's like the meme of the fan and then the Green Mile guy.
Yes.
Like, I'm tired, boss.
Yes.
Dog tired. Yeah, like my fan that's been running for fucking 30 years straight. But hey, keep getting a little better. At some point, I wouldn't mind having the capability of having more microphones, and there could be like 3 or 4 of us like sitting at the table. And I think
that could be fun.
Yeah, it'd just be fun. Just be hanging out with your friends, you're just having some drinks and chilling, but you're just recording it anyways.
Yeah, because I don't know. We've had some interesting like group conversations about things that I don't know. Somebody somewhere might enjoy listening to.
Yeah, maybe. It's funny, like the clips will get traction, but the long form doesn't get a ton of traction.
Yeah.
Some people will listen to the full episode or whatever, because I can see all the stats. But you put up the little clips on TikTok or, shorts or reels or whatever, and those will get like a whole bunch of hits. But I guess that's just like part of the game.
Yeah. Well, and I kind of get it, because sometimes like I've gotten into some podcasts because of the little clips that I see, but then like listening to the whole thing, it's like I'm just not as interested in all of this. Like, yeah, it's almost like the highlight reel sometimes is way better. But there's other podcasts where it's like, okay, yeah, this one's good. I like this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's another thing I'm picky about, and I will not hesitate to abandon one if I'm like 5-10 minutes in. I'm like, this is fucking boring. I'm out of there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that even happens to me with Rogan. Like I'll listen to some of Joe Rogan's podcasts, but anytime it's like real like bro-y, or they just want to talk about MMA, I'm like, so boring.
Yeah.
Give me the fuck out of here. But then other episodes, they'll have like a scientist or something on.
Yeah.
Someone who's a scholar that'll be breaking down something random. And I'm like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah. I like the weird stuff, like get into the nitty gritty, and I can always get down with a good conspiracy theory. Like if you want to go through the details of all of that and then be like, yeah, this is what's real, this is what's not. Like, yeah, I think I told you the Y-Files is one of my favorite podcasts to listen to for that
awesome.
reason. Yeah.
But I think you were telling me about one not too long ago. I mean, he kind of debunks them at the end.
He
but
does.
It's like,
but then there's some that he's like, I might be convinced on this one. Like, what was the one? I think it was like the hollow moon, that the moon's actually hollow. He's like, I might be on board with this now, but like for the most part, he's like, I don't really believe in most of these, and here's all the evidence as to why. So yeah, but he paints the picture, like when he goes through and tells the story, he paints the picture, and like by the end of it, you're like, oh my God, this is real.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. But then he's like, well, here's all the things that don't jive.
Have you paid attention at all to this recent unveiling of like the UAP files? It's like the government did it a week ago or something.
No,
we're
I
going to
have
release
not.
these new UAP files.
What are the UAP? I don't know what that is.
UAP is the new term for UFO, right?
Oh, okay.
So instead of unidentified flying object, it's unidentified aerial phenomena.
Okay.
So now they're UAPs instead of UFOs.
Weird.
But
I wonder why they rebranded.
I don't know. Maybe UFO had too much like stigma around it.
Yeah.
Just, like, as soon as you say
too
it,
antiquated. Like.
Yeah, and as soon as you say it, you sound like a weirdo
Yeah.
right away. You're
Get
like, I
my
saw a
tinfoil
UFO.
hat.
And you're like, okay, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to the asylum.
It's more sophisticated if it's a UAP.
I guess. Yeah, so it's really just rebranding.
But no, I haven't heard anything about this. What's going on?
Well, nothing that is going to necessarily blow your mind. It's a lot of the things that we've kind of seen bits and pieces of throughout the past, couple decades. Grainy footage, radar from an aircraft, or like a thermal camera, and you can see a couple of ships or boats or whatever, and then something like streaks by or whatever. And so I don't know. It's hard to say. Nothing's going to blow your mind, but it is an interesting question. And like the whole thing, like, does the government have some super secret program where they've got fucking alien ships stashed and they know everything that's going on and we're like completely ignorant? Or is it like all bullshit and like nobody knows?
I am a firm believer that NASA lies to us often. Like, I think they are very particular with what they channel out to the public so as not to cause people to freak out. Like, they have definitely been caught doctoring images. Like, it's easy to see, like, oh, you copied this section and pasted it over here because you're trying to hide something. Mm-hmm. Like, I do believe that they alter images to not share the whole story with the general public.
To what end, though? Like, Is that just because they think that we can't handle it and there'll be like mass chaos? And
I don't know. Like, again, I can get pretty deep in the weeds in some of these conspiracy theories. I think there is a lot more going on in the world than we are aware of. I think there are some really big secrets that our government has. I don't know if it's real or not, but
yeah, it's certainly fun to think about.
yeah.
Because it's the ultimate question, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's like even like if you try to go to Area 51, like you get shut down. Those white trucks come around, and if you even get close to crossing the line, and they're like you got to get the fuck out of here kind of thing. And yeah, my understanding is they don't even really have like anything identifying on them to where you can see like what organization they're a part of or whatever. Like there's just these trucks that are like kick rocks.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I feel like with how much security they have around there, like there's got to be something interesting going on in there.
I mean, definitely something interesting, but I guess I would say just as a counter, you know, I've worked in secret facilities and whatnot. And
that's fair.
And it's possible that it's not that deep. It's possible that it's just experimental aircraft. It's like a military research and development place.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we fucking can't be out here. Shit's fucking secret, dude. We have to have our ace in the hole, you know, when we're working on things, and DARPA is doing their things and coming up with new technology to keep the society safe or whatever. So, I mean, it's possible that that's all it is.
It's possible.
It's possible. But it's also possible that something totally insane is going on, because there's this semi-recent telescope in South America. I can't remember the name of it, but it has a shitload of cameras, all these little fiber optic cameras, and it takes all these like flash photos, and then it can piece together a whole picture or whatever. And it's like every time that we look out into the stars, it just gets bigger and bigger every single time. Like we launched James Webb, I don't know, you know, however many years ago.
Yeah.
Then we have this telescope down there, and every time we get a new technology out there, they're like, it's even bigger than we thought.
Yeah.
The observable...
And the infiniteness is expanding.
Yeah.
At like a crazy rapid rate.
Right. And we can't even imagine moving across our galaxy.
No.
And then there's trillions of galaxies.
Yeah.
Like, what does that even mean?
Well, yeah, my brain can't even compute what that means. Like, we are literally less than a fleck of dust spinning through outer space. Like,
yeah. But the thing I always think about is like, because it could feel alone because everything is so far away from each other, and we can't really fathom like a means of transportation that could get anywhere in a reasonable amount of time. And I often think that could just be the essential limiting factor. There could be life all over the universe, but it's too spread out. And this idea that you're automatically going to eventually get to Star Wars or Dune type technology where you can just fucking wormhole yourself, pew, pew, pew. Like, we don't know if that's possible.
Right.
And even if we could travel at the speed of light, it would take 4.5 years to get to the next closest system, which is like Alpha Centauri.
Right.
And we can travel at like 0.001% of the speed of light right now. So, and I don't know. That's the whole thing. Like warp travel and wormholes. Like, is that even possible?
Yeah.
Maybe
and like,
not.
Is there, I don't know, because just because we perceive space and time the way we perceive space and time doesn't mean that's the way it really works. It's like when you look at things at the quantum level, nothing makes sense. And so it's like maybe there are, you know, beings out there who have figured out how to bend time and space in a way where they can get from their galaxy to ours, or I don't know. I mean, I'm not that smart.
I'm not either. And anything's possible, but I'm just saying it's also possible that it's impossible.
Yeah. I can agree with that for sure. Yeah, I am a firm believer that there are other beings out there somewhere. With how big the universe is, we'd be so arrogant to think that we're the only ones. Like, there's no way. Whether or not they have made it here, I don't know. I've seen some things that are pretty convincing. Everybody in their alien abduction stories, some of them sound like bullshit and some of them sound like they could be real, but how do you ever know, I don't know. I'm curious to see if there's going to be something big that happens that it's like that makes it clear that like, yes, this is real and yes, they are here.
That's always been something that I have hoped would happen in my lifetime. Some sort of revelation, or at least like a peek under the dress of like, oh yeah, like now we know for sure that there's other shit going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always
It'd be really interesting to see how that change, like how it would change society for it to be known that like, yes, there are other beings and yes, they have made it here. Like, I wonder how that would change things, or if it would change things.
Yeah, that's a good question. Because in my mind, I mean, I guess I already think of this stuff a lot, and I think of the universe as mysterious, and even whatever you want to call it, my own like spirituality is that like it's unexplainable essentially.
Yeah.
Is like when I think about these sort of things. So I don't know, who knows, but it would be amazing to get a little bit of evidence,
A little glimpse.
a little peek. Because the other side, I mean, if it's just us, like also what does that mean? Does it mean it's just...
That's almost scarier.
It almost is, and it means like the chemistry has to be so perfect in even our solar system, right? Like our planet is the perfect distance away from the sun, and even our moon is like really perfect the way it operates with the planet, and it's a big protector. And Jupiter as well is like a fucking linebacker that's running around out in the solar system.
Yeah.
Just like soaking up asteroids and meteors or whatever, and making sure they don't smack into everybody else. So if it is really lonely, then that means like just the chances in any given galaxy or solar system is incredibly low. But even all that being said, with the amount of galaxies that are out there, it's still impossible for it to be the only one.
There would be at least one more that has those perfect conditions out of trillions. Like, trillions is an unfathomable number to me. Like, what was it? I think if you were to count seconds, 1 million seconds is like 11 days or something like that. Maybe 12 days. But if you count 1 billion seconds, that's like 31 years. Mm-hmm. And so trillion, like, that's just an unfathomable amount to me. My brain can't compute.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like how they talk about the world being billions of years old. Like, that's something that my brain just doesn't understand. It's like, who knows what we could have gone through in the past? Like, this could be our 4th or 5th time around with human beings on this planet trying to figure shit out, and then everybody gets wiped out, and then it all starts over and we evolve. And I mean, who knows? It's
totally possible.
Because that's a crazy amount of time.
And there's a lot of people that think it's likely. There's this dude, Graham Hancock, who's like really into this Younger Dryas theory that like 12,000 something years ago, there was a meteor strike, and that was what caused like a rapid melting of the ice caps and would flood a lot of parts of the planet. And it just so happens that a lot of cultures throughout the planet, almost all of them have a flood story in their mythology.
Yes.
And if you look at the way society is right now, we're very coastal. You know, a lot of our city centers are coastal. So if you can imagine that process repeating itself, and the ice caps melting and massive flooding, and the coastline goes up 50 feet or 100 feet or 200 feet or whatever it is.
Right.
And you fast forward 7,000 years, there's not going to be anything left. There's not going to be anything to see, you know?
Yeah.
And if humanity got reset to like hunter-gatherers, everything got fucking wiped out. You know, there's no evidence left.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's like, Atlantis and Lemuria and all. What's the other one? It starts with an M. I can't think of it. But I want to say Easter Island was part of that. But yeah, it's like there's all these civilizations that there's stories of somewhere that it's like, I don't know, was it really a thing? Like,
could have been.
It's hard to say. Yeah, who knows what could have happened over billions of years.
Yeah, because to your point, that's an insane timeline. And I remember hearing one guy talking about how it doesn't take that long to break down evidence of humanity if it's not made of stone. And that's why when we look back at megalithic sites and whatever, the only thing that is there is stone. Mm-hmm. So our society, our modern society as it is, even concrete or whatever, it's not going to last that long.
Right.
Evacuate everyone, fast forward 5,000 years.
Yeah.
For practically nothing left.
Out by my mom's house, there's a section of Mark Shuffle that used to be different, and they like rerouted the road. And the section that they've closed down, within just a couple years, the deterioration of that road is just crazy. Mm-hmm. And it's like, within a few more years, you're not even going to be able to tell that there used to be a road there.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like even, our paved roads and everything that we have built, like, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't take it all that long for that to disappear and go away.
No, especially if you throw in massive floods, massive landslides, earthquakes,
heat, lava.
Anything like that. There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing.
Yeah, unless it gets frozen in an ice cap somewhere or something.
Yeah, that's the only way, or it creates the perfect situation to like create a fossil. Of course, that takes a lot longer, but if it's not in the perfect situation, there will be no evidence.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have people been doing the same old shit,
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, how many times have we gotten to this place in history just for everything to be wiped out and then we have to start over?
Yeah. Yeah, and what is the wipeout? I mean, it's like 50-50. Nature or like self-induced.
Yeah. Yeah, or I was listening to a thing that was talking about like a pole shift and how like our magnetic poles are moving more than usual and we are overdue for a pole shift. And it was saying like if a pole shift happens, it would just be chaos because essentially like the magnetic poles would move, but the world's still spinning the way it's spinning. And so like it would shift all of that and it would be utter chaos. Like, I mean, cities would just be totally destroyed and it would be apocalyptic.
What causes the chaos though? Because I've heard about, I don't know if you know, but like, okay, if we just say the poles shift, like what does that mean? Does that mean, the planet doesn't flip upside down, right?
No, I don't think so. It wouldn't necessarily do like a 180. I think it's almost just like it would partially shift. And so it's like, okay, so we're spinning like this at however many hundreds or thousands of miles an hour we're spinning. And then when the earth moves like that, the rotation of like the ocean, like, everything is moving and it's not going to stop. So all of a sudden the ocean's coming hundreds of miles an hour when it never would have even come that direction before, but it's like a massive water full force slamming into a city. Like there just wouldn't be, even just the force of a change in our rotation would be so catastrophic for people. Like, cause here we are just sitting here. We feel like we're sitting still, but we're really like hurtling through space at this crazy speed. And so if something were to throw that off, like we would just hit the wall all of a sudden and not even know what happened.
That'd be fucking nuts.
That would be fucking nuts. It'd be a split second. We wouldn't know any different, but
yeah, all of a sudden we're just flying towards the wall.
Yeah, and I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess in the big scheme of things, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's just lights
could be
out.
worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I I don't know. Who knows? We could see something like that. It could be hundreds of years out. Who knows?
I know it. But again, I go back to I've always kind of yearned for this great revelation because I don't know, there's something about day-to-day life and modern society and just like the things that we care about. I find myself sometimes sitting back. I'm like, this is all fucking bullshit, dude.
None of it matters.
Yeah,
None of it matters.
I'm like, this is such bullshit.
Yes.
I'm just going to work so I can like make sure this thing works, and then so that they can go do this thing, and I'm just like,
so I can buy this thing that I think is something that is going to be useful and make my life better.
yeah, it's so silly.
Yeah, it is super silly. I find that the older I get, the more I'm realizing, like, I'm going to die at some point. Like, I don't know when, but am I going to be happy with the way that I've spent my time?
Yeah, it's a good question.
And sometimes, like, with the grind of work, and it's like, I don't know, is this what we're supposed to be doing while we're here?
Absolutely not.
And I get that, like, there's all these different functions that need to happen for society to work. But yeah, it's like, I feel like there's more to this existence than what everybody is doing.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it sounds almost a little cheesy to say, but sometimes I feel like my soul is not satisfied.
Yeah.
Because it does seem meaningless. Like a lot of things seem meaningless. And I sometimes nerd out and think about like hunter-gatherers or tribes living back in the day. And there was a part of me that can't help but think that was probably a higher form of human existence. When you were rolling around with your tribe or your people or whatever.
Yeah.
And you guys were just trying to survive, and you stared at the stars every night, and you came up with stories and gods and spirits and all these sorts of things.
Yeah.
And at least you would maybe ponder what it means to be alive and like your place in the world.
Yeah.
Where now I feel like it's just taken for granted so much.
Totally.
There's this weird like entitlement, and people are like, I should have a Mercedes, and you're just like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Seriously.
I need a new iPhone. You know?
Yeah, I have a mess of meetings and I have to send all these emails, and it's like, what does any of this matter in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, it's this whole game that we created ourselves.
Right.
But it's not a very good game.
No, it's the worst fucking game ever, dude. Like, yeah, and I don't know how to escape it. Like, yeah, I don't know what the right answer is, but I do feel like there's more to life than this. But
right, because we're all stuck in a logistical problem essentially, because as society is built right now, the only way that you can get to what we're talking about is to basically have a lot of money,
right,
or to take off to some other country and join a commune or something. I mean, I guess that could potentially be a different route, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like,
well,
you participate or die, or get left in the dust.
And I think like I think we need to do a better job of, especially with kids. Like, so for me growing up, I didn't understand what I was supposed to be doing while I was going to school. Like, everything in life was always just like, oh, you got to get through this to get to the next thing. You have to get through elementary school to get to middle school. You get through middle school to get to high school. You get to high school to go to college. Then after college, you get a job, and then you work until you die, I guess. But like, I never understood that, like, in school, when you're learning about all of these things, like, you really should be focused on what interests you, what drives you, what are you passionate about? Like, what is something that you could see yourself really pouring your soul into, and that's how you spend your time? Like, what is going to make you happy? Mm-hmm. And I think if we were to focus more on that intent with kids of like, hey, like this isn't just something that you just need to figure out and get through. This is something like, these are all these opportunities for you to find what sparks that spark in your soul and then follow that. Mm-hmm. I think that could really kind of change things. Cause yeah, once it's like I did a little bit of college, and after that it was just kind of like, well, what now? Like, I don't know what to do. And that's how I fell into insurance. It's like, nobody grows up going, I want to work for an insurance company. Like, nobody does that, but you fall into it. And then I don't know, for me, like I ended up finding underwriting to be enjoyable. It's something that I could deal with. But yeah, it's like at this point, it's like, this doesn't spark something in my soul. I'm not super excited about this. Like, I feel like there's just more out there. And yeah, had I known going to school what I know now, I 1000% would have gone into quantum physics within the realm of human consciousness.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. But now I'm not going to spend all the money to go back to school to really like deep dive into all of that stuff. Like, it's just not going to happen. So I do that on the side, but like, yeah, I think that we need to help kids understand that, like, hey, here's kind of what your focus should be through this. Like, you're not just trying to get to the next step.
Yeah, 100%. That kind of guidance is critically lacking in our society, because it does become just get through the next gate. Like, get through the next gate and then you'll figure it out later. But while you're going through the gates, yeah, you should be thinking about, how do I actually want to spend my time in my day-to-day? Because what's the percentage of people that go to a job every day and they're just like, fucking, I'm just doing this because I have to? Or
so many.
Most, like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the number is, but like 80%?
I'd say it's a pretty high percentage of people.
85%?
Yeah.
That are just doing it because they need to, because it's just a logistical matter at that point.
Right.
It's like, I got
bills to pay.
I need to get these tokens so that I can exchange them for food and lights and whatever else you need, transportation.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah, very much unfortunate. And maybe that was a fact of the world for a period of time. I could understand, people talk about the education system was kind of based off the Industrial Revolution. We just need people to punch in, do what they got to do, bell rings, punch out, is this thing.
Yep.
They essentially needed people to go cut down trees and work in the factory and work in the mill, whatever.
Yeah.
And you needed human labor to do that sort of thing. But I would like to think that hopefully we're approaching a time where maybe that is not so much of the focus, where it's not just about getting through gates. And that kind of circles back to what we were talking about before. It's like, as technology gets more and more powerful, like, how's it all going to shake out? But ideally it shakes out in a way in which people can pursue things that they actually enjoy a little bit more. And then maybe they can turn it into something. I mean, because how many like Beethovens or Mozarts or Michael Jordans or LeBron James were like never found just because they never like got led to the thing that they could take off on.
Yeah.
And instead they were just like, well, I just got to study for history, dog. And then I got to get a job, and now I'm making sandwiches, and now I got a baby on the way. So I got to get a real career. And,
yeah.
And life just like kind of got out of your control a little bit.
Yeah.
And you never found the thing that you would be a Beethoven at.
Yeah.
And you just never came across it because you're too busy handling the logistics.
Yeah. I bet there's a lot of instances of that.
Probably a shitload, because I bet everyone has, maybe not quite to that level, like Michael Jordan or Beethoven, but everyone has something in that ballpark. You have something, well, everyone, I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, I would agree with a lot of people. I don't know about everyone. Like, I think there's quite a few people who, like, if all their needs were met and they didn't have to do anything to make money, like, they would just bed rot and just not, be complacent and not do anything. And I think there are people, but I think for the most part, like, not everybody is that way. But so yeah, not everyone.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, drive is like a whole different conversations. So it's like in this thought experiment of thinking about people being able to pursue their dreams, it's like you almost need to find a way to simulate a little bit of pressure too, though. Like it can't be too easy.
Right.
There has to be some obstacle, like overcoming.
Because when it's too easy, any minor inconvenience is such a big deal.
Well, yeah, and that's like those like silver spoon people that you like hear about, and they're just a complete fucking nightmare. You know?
Right. And yeah, we don't want to get to that point where like any little thing that goes wrong is the end of the world.
Yeah, I'd be like, there's dust on my yacht. Ah!
A bunch of pansies. Yeah, like we can't have a world full of just a bunch of weak ass people.
Yeah, I know it. So, I mean, yeah, in my small pea brain, be like, you have to emulate some sort of struggle. You have to have like a coming to age type thing going on. And it's going to be drastically different from our current education system. But there has to be some way that we usher younger generations into adulthood while instilling in them like spirit and motivation and drive and things of that nature. Because you can't just give everyone a fucking free check.
And do you think that is like motivation and drive, is that something inherent or something that can be taught or learned?
I think it can 100% be taught and learned. I think it's sometimes inherent, but it seems to lack in our society because our lives are too easy.
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with the reward of all of it. Like, and society as a whole, like we have, someone described it. It was perfect. They said that we have quick happies and slow happies. And like everybody is getting addicted to these quick happies that are like your little dopamine boosts from being online and watching reels and whatever. But it's the slow happies that we should chase, like the things that you have to work for. And then you feel that sense of accomplishment once it's all done. Like it's the slow happies that we need to be pursuing in life.
Yeah, 100%. You ever heard of Jordan Peterson?
I don't know. Does not sound familiar.
He's like a psychologist dude. He's originally from Canada. He kind of became like a public intellectual figure. Kind of got politicized to a certain degree, which is a little unfortunate. But anyways, one of the things that he talks about, because he's a clinical psychologist, but is like, people have to understand that pursuing happiness is like a fool's game. What you have to do is pursue meaning, and like happiness is a byproduct.
Yes.
Because you perpetually pursue happiness, like next thing you know, you're going to be like doing coke and hanging out with hookers. If you're like, I just want to be happy all the time.
Well, and happiness isn't a destination.
No.
Like you're not going to get there. You just have to learn how to experience happiness in whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
and when it shows up, and like there's ups and downs, and all these things happen. When you have a good day, like love it and have a great time.
Well, and if you didn't have bad days, you wouldn't ever have any appreciation for your good days. Because you wouldn't know any different, and it would just be the norm, and you'd get bored with it eventually. And so you have to have, those off days to appreciate the good days.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I think that, like, maybe eventually we'll get to this somewhat enlightened age, but one of the things that has to happen before any of that can ever be realized is cultivating the next generation. It's like we were talking about.
Yes.
And that has to have some serious thought behind it, because right now I feel like it kind of doesn't.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
we're just coasting with it.
You're just coasting and just hoping things work out. Where, again, I go back to my hunter-gatherer days, and you would have to go out. You'd have to kill an elk. You might even have to kill a man. You would have to. You maybe you're gonna go do peyote by yourself in the woods for 4 days or something, and go on a fast and go on a spiritual journey. But there was kind of a process towards becoming like a fully realized adult member of the society.
Yes.
Where we don't really have that, and it's like everyone gets a free ticket, and that's not necessarily good for the collective.
Nope.
So we have to figure out our relationship with that process.
Yeah.
Like we have to go a little bit back to the basics, I think.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Yeah, that goes back to the whole, if all of our needs are met, like how does this all work? How do we navigate through all of that?
I don't know.
'Cause it's all just a big gray area.
Big time. But shit. I think we crushed it for today.
Hell yeah, man.
We can have a drink and go get some food and go fucking rage at this metal show.
I'm into it. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the show out. See you next time.